There's something uncomfortable you need to accept. Some of the smartest people you know will never become wealthy, not because they lack intelligence, not because they don't work hard, and not because the world is unfair to them. They will stay broke because of a psychological trap that feels responsible, logical, and mature, but silently limits their financial growth for decades. And the worst part, they won't even realize they're trapped. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe that intelligence guarantees success. If you score high marks, get into a good college, and learn valuable skills, money will naturally follow. That's the promise society sells. But reality is far more complex. School teaches you how to calculate risk. It doesn't teach you how to tolerate it. College teaches you employable skills. It doesn't teach you how to emotionally survive uncertainty. And that gap between knowledge and emotional tolerance is where most intelligent people quietly lose. Two people can graduate with the same degree, have similar IQ levels, and access to similar opportunities. Yet 10 years later, one is financially thriving, investing, building, expanding, while the other is surviving paycheck to paycheck, constantly worried about stability. The different ISN, intelligence, its nervous system capacity. Money is not controlled by how smart you are. It is controlled by how much uncertainty you can endure without shutting down. Every financial decision carries uncertainty. Starting something new, asking for a raise, quitting a stable job, investing savings, launching a project publicly, even switching industries. These actions are uncomfortable because they trigger fear responses in the brain. Most people don't fail financially because they are incapable. They fail because they panic early, and panic creates small, safe decisions. Small, safe decisions repeated over years create small, safe lives. Now, let's talk about the psychological loop that keeps intelligent people stuck. It starts with fear of instability. Smart individuals are often highly analytical. They can clearly imagine worst-case scenarios. They can predict what might go wrong. They calculate risks accurately, sometimes too accurately, because once you become aware of every possible downside, the emotional weight of uncertainty increases. To reduce that anxiety, they choose safety. Safety feels responsible. It feels mature. It feels like the right move. A stable job instead of a risky opportunity. A predictable salary instead of variable income. Waiting until conditions are perfect. Delaying action until more research is done. But safety creates comfort. Comfort slowly kills urgency. And without urgency, growth slows down, then stops completely. When growth stops, they rationalize it. They say, the economy is bad. They say, opportunities are limited. They say luck matters too much. But the truth is far less dramatic. It was fear wearing the mask of logic. Statements like, I'm just being practical. Don't want unnecessary risk. I'll start when things feel stable. Need more certainty first. These sound intelligent, but they are often fear-based avoidance disguised as rational thinking. Here's something deeper. Middle-class psychology is not built around avoiding poverty. It's built around avoiding embarrassment. People are less afraid of being broke than they are of looking foolish while trying. They fear public failure. They fear criticism. They fear being judged for ambition that doesn't immediately work out. So, instead of asking, how much can I earn? They ask, what if this fails? Instead of asking, what could this become? They ask, what if people think I'm stupid? This subtle shift in questioning changes everything. When your dominant mental model is avoidance of embarrassment, you will unconsciously avoid exposure. And exposure is where money lives. The world does not reward hidden potential. It rewards visible participation. Every high-earning individual you observe today has a history of uncomfortable exposure. They launched things before feeling ready. They made decisions without full certainty. They lost money. They looked inexperienced. They were criticized. They faced rejection. But they stayed. And staying is a skill. Most people withdraw at the first spike of anxiety. The moment income becomes inconsistent, or progress becomes slow, or feedback becomes negative, their nervous system interprets that discomfort as danger. So they retreat back to safety. And safety pays just enough to keep you dependent. This is where income ceilings are formed. Your income ceiling is not decided by your intelligence, education, or even work ethic. It is decided by how much suspended discomfort you can handle without needing immediate relief. If you can only tolerate mild uncertainty, you will only make decisions that maintain mild stability. But if your goal is growth, you must accept volatility. You must accept temporary instability. You must accept that some months will feel uncertain. Growth requires expansion beyond comfort zones. Security reduces anxiety in the short term. Growth increases income in the long term. Most intelligent people unconsciously prioritize short-term emotional relief over long-term financial expansion. They choose to feel safe today instead of stronger tomorrow. Now let's talk about readiness. One of the biggest financial illusions is the idea that you will feel ready before taking a major step, that confidence will arrive first, and action will follow. It rarely works that way. Confidence is built after exposure, not before. Italiano fear does not disappear. At higher income levels, it simply changes form. The fear of starting becomes the fear of scaling. The fear of losing small money becomes the fear of losing larger money. Wealthy individuals are not fearless. They are conditioned. Their nervous systems are trained to operate under uncertainty without collapsing. That training happens through repeated exposure, not avoidance. So the real question is not, how smart am I, or how talented am I? The real question is, how much discomfort can I handle daily without quitting? Because that number quietly determines your financial future. Not motivation, not inspiration, not productivity hacks, emotional tolerance, the ability to remain in the game while outcomes are unclear, the ability to take action before certainty appears, the ability to endure temporary embarrassment without shrinking. The moment you stop making decisions purely to feel safe and start making decisions to expand your capacity, something shifts. Money begins to respond differently. Opportunities that once felt intimidating start becoming accessible. You begin to see that logic without courage creates limitation, and fear, when left unchallenged, becomes a lifelong financial ceiling. So if you consider yourself intelligent, capable, or ambitious, understand this: your biggest threat is not lack of knowledge. It is premature retreat. If this changed the way you see money and growth, subscribe, because we don't talk about motivation here. We talk about control. And control begins with mastering the fear loop.